What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Alarm Fantasy Football. I'm Howard Bender with Andrew Cooper here, and oh baby, here we go. It is Wednesday now, heading into NFL Week 4. We got the first game tomorrow, Packers-Lions. We got lots of stuff going on here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. If you're in that YouTube page, smash that like and subscribe button. Share that with your friends. Coop and I, we come in here, we give you answers to all the questions in chat. We roll through a ton of stuff there. So, share the love with the rest of the world here. Don't keep us as the best kept secret in the fantasy industry. People know who we are. Just broadcast that. Coop, what is going on, my brother? How'd Tuesday night waivers treat you?
Tuesday night waivers were nice. Well, before we get to waivers, I got to ask you, because you had a better Tuesday night than just waivers. You saw a little concert, a little rock and roll Howard last night.
Oh, dude, I got to tell you, man, it's crazy. It's like, oh, got it. Nope, didn't get it. Damn. Dude, I got a fly buzzing around in the shed right now.
Bees last week, now it's flies this week.
Dude, this is like the jungle. The perils of living next door to a hay farm is really what it comes down to. Yeah, dude, I got a chance to go out last night. I it's always a nice reminder for me that how much good live music replenishes my soul. And just sitting there, and I was answering questions on social media, on the way to the show. And then I was just like, you know what? Boom. I got there, saw the marquee, took that photo, and was like, I am checking out from it. And I'll be back tomorrow. I mean, you guys get me 20 hours out of a 24-hour day. So come on, give me 4 hours of enjoyment of non-fantasy stuff.
I love that you posted the marquee photo and said, hey, I just finished answering questions. And on that photo, there's a bunch of questions.
There's a bunch of questions, which I answered too. I was like,
you're a sweetheart, man. That's cool, man. So ready for this. Skinny knows. Skinny's a rocker. And shout out Corrupt TV. Corrupt TV, that's Twitch gang, man. But it looks like you're in the YouTube chat now. Do us a favor, guys. Subscribe, hit the like on that. That's what keeps the lights on here, keeps us answering questions, pays for fancy tickets to concerts for Howard. So appreciate you guys, man. But yeah, my waivers went well. I didn't actually make a ton of moves this week. I was kind of lurking around on the underbelly of waivers, putting in like $1, $0 claims for the Luke Musgraves and the Zach Charbonnets. My teams are all looking really, knock on wood, looking pretty good right now. So,
I'd knock on wood, but I think my whole desk would collapse.
Just a bunch of carpenter ants, termites.
Yeah, waivers for me pretty easy peasy. There wasn't really a lot going on out there. Obviously the Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnston differential and where you're gonna go, because I had a lot of Mike Williams and he's a favorite player of mine. I know the damage that he can do, and so I'm also obviously investing in this Chargers offensive scheme and the passing attack that Kellen Moore likes to do. And I'll tell you what, I missed on all of my Josh Palmer bids, but I got my contingency bids on Quentin Johnston.
Hey,
and I'm listen, I like Palmer, and he's got the snap count right now, and he's got the target edge right now. But you also drafted Quentin Johnston in the first round, and so we're going to wait and see what he does. Usually the plan is to kind of ease these rookie wideouts into the scheme, and then all of a sudden, week 6, week 7, then they really pop and they take off. Zay Flowers is an obvious, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Outlier.
Exception.
Yes.
Exception. But listen, and Johnston now could get thrust into it also. So, I say, listen, you know what? I didn't overspend on a wide receiver, and maybe happy accident here, Coop. Maybe Quentin Johnston in the long run prevails over Joshua Palmer.
Yeah, and here's the thing about the snap shares and all that. Even if Josh Palmer now gets the Mike Williams snap share, Quentin Johnston gets the Josh Palmer snap share, and that's not bad at all, right? He was getting 40, 50 snaps. And I go back, the one I look at for recent memory, I mean, there's a million of them in the past, but Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, his first 3 games, 23 yards, 18 yards, 2 yards, right? By week 11, he's playing 98% of the snaps, right? That's how it goes with rookies sometimes. So, this is last year, sometimes teams draft in retrospect. Last year, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen played 2 full games together. Keenan Allen was hurt the first half. Mike Williams hurt the second half. They turned around and said, you know what? We're not taking any chances. We're drafting a guy in the first round in case someone gets hurt. Guess what? Someone got hurt. Turns out they made the right decision, and now hopefully it pans out for them and pans out for us. So I'm on board. I had Josh Palmer ahead as well, but not by enough that I needed to spend $75 to get one over you.
No. Yeah, I mean, I did reasonable bids all around, and if somebody wants to overbid, then by all means, because my contingency bids were obviously less than where I was going after Palmer. So yeah, happy accident for me. I feel really good about that for sure. Now, for our viewers out there, we'll see a lot of repeat names in the chat. Just so everybody knows, we're going to change things up here at Alarm Fantasy Football. We talked about this on yesterday's show, and I think that it's going to make this show better, and it's going to make it a lot more useful for all of you moving forward. We're going to start going a lot more question and subject matter specific. Obviously, if there's a big storyline, breaking news, or whatever, we're going to hit that and we're going to discuss it. But Tuesdays, we're going to focus on waiver wire, and all your questions should be waiver wire questions. You want trade questions? Hit us up on Wednesdays. We're going to tell you guys exactly, we're going to talk about your trades, but we're also going to talk about what you can and can't do if you want to improve your team, mistakes that get made during trading and things like that. And then on Thursday, boom, all your lineup questions. So waivers Tuesday, trades Wednesday, Thursday is lineups. And then you obviously get the extra bonus lineup show with Coop and John and Pemba here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel as well. So we're just going to organize this a little bit better for you so it's not such a crazy free-for-all with the questions. Of course, as I say that, Coop, the chat's blowing up right now. It's a free-for-all for questions. And you know what? That's what we're here for.
We're here for you.
100% here for that. Let's just hit it. Let's see if we can clear the deck, and then maybe I can find time to complain about the Jets.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll find time for you, buddy. Don't worry. So okay, what you got first?
All right, Coop, here's your question. Would you do Garrett Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Puka Nacua for Justin Jefferson?
So it depends how shallow the league is, but in shallow leagues, this is exactly the move I'm willing to do, right? Like it all depends what your new lineup looks like, but Justin Jefferson he's just so good that if you have guys to fill in and your Raheem Mostert and Puka Nacua are in your start sit questions every week, then do it. If it's like a 12-team league with 3 wide receiver spots and a flex, I probably just keep the depth. But it all depends what your lineup looks like after. So in shallow leagues, do what you have to do to get stars.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Let's just go through. We'll just say hi to everybody. That was Smile Sky, with like a little 1 in there for smile. It's like, when I spell out, Howard, the A is actually a number 4. No,
that's really elite, Howard. That's hacker Howard spells his name.
I saw it in a movie starring the cast of High School Musical. There it was.
Hey, you dot the I's with hearts.
We'll say hi to Corrupted TV. Hello. We'll say hi to Tommy. Get in the game. It is Wednesday. Let's go.
Wednesday, my dudes.
Beautiful. Corrupted subscribed. I love you. Thank you so much. I actually get to feed my dogs today now because you just subscribed, Corrupted. My dogs say thank you. Skinny says goose. Yeah, it was a great show, man. Great show. Howdy ho, scampers. Hello and done. And here we go. Corrupted got Josh Palmer on waivers. Solid move.
Good.
It's a solid move. Like the dude is going to see targets. Like that's the thing. He's moving from a 60% snap share to an 80% snap share. Boom. Love that. 8-man league here. Kayaks and Bronzeback says about to drop Kyle Pitts tonight for Laporta, keeping Kincaid. I don't hate that move.
Do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Let's take a moment here to just be sad about Kyle Pitts.
I know.
I just want to be sad about him for a moment here. Here we go.
if he's gonna have 9 emo Howards out, dude, now it's all frowny faces and the smileys are gone. I'll tell you this: if now it's Kenny from South Park.
This is my Kyle Pitts. Woe is
Angsty,
me. I bought into Kyle Pitts again. This is me.
angsty teenage Kyle Pitts fan. Dashboard confessional Kyle Pitts fan. I will say this: if he needs 9 targets and a carry to get 40 yards, then when the hell is this guy gonna have 100 yards? He's gonna need a full-on 20 target game. So,
dude, no, come on, man. That's he's due for that in never o'clock.
Never.
Never o'clock. It's gonna be at never o'clock on May 32nd. So
the day after my birthday.
Be sure to be there. Matt Solis says he got offered James Cook and Zay Flowers for James Conner and Michael Thomas. Well, this is a tough one for you, man. You might want to sit and kind of marinate on this. Some of your
I think I might have to recuse myself from this one, as the Supreme Court leaders refuse to do. That's the gang. I mean, it seems pretty lateral. The thing with James Cook's not getting the goal line carries, but he's on the better team and he looks great when he gets the ball. That's just the one piece of the puzzle he's missing. I think I just stick, even though I am a huge Michael Thomas fan, I think I just stick with James Cook and Zay Flowers. 30% target share for Zay Flowers there's no substitute for an elite target share.
Yeah, you're also looking at a change of QB for Michael Thomas right now. Yeah. And while Derek Carr wasn't that great, how inaccurate have we seen Jameis Winston in the past?
And Alvin Kamara is coming back, and Rashid Shaheed is forcing. I mean, if they don't give him the snaps on offense, he just runs back a kick. So it's he's forcing his way onto the field, So it is what it is. Michael Thomas is still very safe, but Zay Flowers is getting the same low ADOT targets, and he has a shot to take him to the barn, right? Whereas Michael Thomas, his barnstorming days are probably behind.
Corrupted TV is already on the start sits here with a handful of receivers. Coop, Marquise Brown against San Francisco. Tyler Lockett. I don't even know.
Giants.
Oh, the Giants.
So, Howard, to put this in perspective, me and John and I answered this question on the last show, the previous show. And that's why he's asking it again for a good reason, because you're the tiebreaker. I picked.
Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Come on, man. Because I'm going to side with my boy Impemba every time.
Come on now. All right, no bias.
I love the vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah. It's amazing.
All right, so starting 2, Marquise Brown, Lockett, Kirk, Higgins, and Joshua Palmer. All right, I need to kind of dive in a little bit here. Just catching opponents here. All right, I do like Josh Palmer at home against Vegas. I do not like Marquise Brown against San Francisco.
No.
I do like Tyler Lockett against the Giants D on Monday Night Football, and having a little slice of that. I do like T. Higgins sitting there against Tennessee. That's a good spot too. So where am I going to go? And you know what, Christian Kirk, as much as I love Christian Kirk, I just don't want to do anything with the London game.
It's London, yeah.
I hate the London games. That's going to be a no that's a no from me, dog.
Okay.
So it comes down to, I'm gonna lock in Tyler Lockett 100%.
Okay.
Monday Night Football. I love having that, final game. You've got something there. If you are down, you're you're in it. You're messaging me and you're like, what are my chances to win?
Right.
So I'm going there with Kirk. As far as Higgins versus Palmer, holy shit balls.
I know.
I am going to, you know what though? I'm gonna go with Josh Palmer here.
Oh my God, Howard. So you didn't make it any easier, bro. I picked Lockett and Higgins. John picked Higgins and Palmer, and then you picked Lockett and Palmer, creating another three-way tie. So, hey, Corrupt, you're gonna have to bring that question to one more person to now bring what is a three-way tie.
So let me hear the rationale then. Let's talk to me here. What was your reasoning for it?
Well, so I'm playing into the Titans' good rush defense equals have to throw narrative, and which is one that we've kind of been going with for a while here. But again, I don't have any arguments against Josh Palmer. That's the hard part. It's just that I trust T. Higgins more than Josh Palmer. We saw virtually a full season of Josh Palmer as a wide receiver too, and it was okay, right? I just don't think he has the upside of Higgins, but again, my rationale for Lockett was the same as yours. It's a good matchup, and it's Monday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a tough discussion, man. It's just
All right,
John's in on Palmer.
So John's in on Palmer. All right. So for me, here's the thing with Higgins. Again, it's Joe Burrow. You're dealing with the calf issue, and if you keep playing him, you have to handle him with kid gloves.
Right.
You can't just kind of let him go. And you see the quick release, and you see where the eye is. And we were actually just talking before this show, Coop, about first reads.
True.
And on a quick release, because you don't want to take a hit, who is the first read for Joe Burrow? It's Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Yeah, it's the shallow guys.
For that reason right there, that's why I kind of lean Palmer, because I think that this is a game where everybody can eat as far as the receivers go. So that's the only reason. I mean, I think it's very, very close between Higgins and Palmer, but that's just my rationale to throw that monkey wrench in there. I think we can agree that John is just completely wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong with you got to have Lockett in there. I will say this. I go over to fantasyalarm.com, and then I go over to NFL tools and NFL DFS tools, and I go to the Vegas tab, right? And look at the Vegas odds there, where we take not only the odds themselves, but we break it down into the implied lines, the implied point totals for each team. Because obviously, if you have a game that's 48 points and one team's favored by 6, mathematically you can use a little trigonometry there to figure out what the points are implied. And the Chargers have a 25.73 implied point total, whereas the Bengals, because it's going to be a low scoring game, down at like 21. So you got implied points on your side with the Josh Palmer play as well. So I'll go with you guys. We'll do Lockett and Josh Palmer. We'll square that one away.
Yeah, let's let's take it a step further. And this is why we kind of go through it here. And I'm going to go to the Bengals-Titans game, and I'm going to look at receiving yards props. Do I got anything? I don't have anything yet. All right. But that's going to be something that you're going to want to watch. You're going to want, when they release the props, see what the receiving yards prop is for Higgins. See what the receiving yards prop is for Joshua Palmer. Vegas gives you a great, they usually give you like a rock solid number. I mean, yes, are they wrong occasionally? Like Adam Thielen, I think his receiving yard props was like 35 and a half receiving yards this past week. Like, are there mistakes like that get made? Yeah, sure. But you can definitely use that as a tiebreaker as well, because I think that, Vegas always has a good bead on, the player and what they're going to end up doing.
They got a lot riding on it, Howard. Let's say that.
They do. True or false here? Hal says Dontavian Wicks is better than Christian Watson.
You're trolling, man. That's trolling. I think that Dontavian Wicks, even though he has an amazing name, goes right back to the pine. And we see it being Watson on one side, Dubs on the other side, and Jaden Reed in the slot. It's good to know you have that guy in your back pocket, though, that can jump in there and play at a reasonable level. So good player on the roster, but let's not get crazy.
Let's not get nuts.
Let's not get wild.
All right. Skinny never had a chance at Johnston. Well, you know what, Skinny? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Right. Hop on the A chain. Yeah, well, it's a chain, not a chain. So it's a chain. Hop on a chain.
I've been hearing so many different pronunciations. Now
I have a pronunciation guide from the NFL.
Okay, hell yeah.
And it is chain, I think. Maybe.
Is it chain or Chan though? Because someone said that he himself came out and said it's Chan now, and a chain sounds way better than a chain.
We should get an interview with him. We should just be like, and the number one question: how do I pronounce your name?
Please, first, yeah, that would. I mean, just clipping that would get 1 trillion views. Earn dog, please. Can we reach out to
get us Devon a chain?
Get him in here.
The other running back not named Mostert on that Miami roster.
Exactly. Get him in here. Jeff Wilson, say what you will about him. Name super easy to pronounce.
Easy to pronounce. I like that. Adam Brunchen. Speaking of easy to pronounce, how high was the fab on Palmer? are adjusting for waivers for tonight. All right, so I probably threw about a 20 to 25% bid across the board on Palmer, and he went for more of like a 35 to 40% bid in each league.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is that if a guy goes directly into your lineup, it's 20 to 25% minimum. In my biggest league, he went for like $15. But I think if you really want him, it's got to be at least 20, 25.
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Rojas, what's going on? I usually see you on the betting show. It's a pleasure to see you here. 3 weeks in, I lost 2 starting wide receivers already with Williams and Garrett. I mean, Garrett, you didn't lose him. You just lost his QB, but all right, I got you. Now my wide receiver core is filled with Higgins, Cooper, Kirk, Jacoby, and Garrett Wilson if desperate. 2-1, though. He's looking for it's a 10-team PPR 2 flex. So what's the question here?
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher. Lost starting wide receiver. My wide receiver with Higgins, Cooper. So I think that's just who he's starting. So I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's actually pretty good. I would start. We don't like Christian Kirk this week as much as we do the other guys. I would start Jacoby Myers. I like a lot right now.
I love Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is so when it comes to those first read stats, Amari Cooper is one where he's up there with the big dogs. So we're feeling good about Amari.
What a shock!
Right. Yeah.
The number 1 receiver on Cleveland gets the first read all the time.
Right.
Yes. Getting the game says QJ is going to be a stud. Yeah, we know. I dropped QJ Sunday morning. Oh, Hal, that's
not even a bad drop though, because he was like 4th on the team in snaps. So it happens.
Smile Sky, we already answered your question. You don't have to repeat it, baby. We got this. I'm scrolling through this chat, baby. Come on. Trade questions today. Yeah, I'd like to see some trade questions today. Nothing could make this show better. You're too awesome, Coop. I think Tommy's got a little crush on you.
Tommy, stop it.
He's got a little crush on you.
I'm still mad at Tommy for that bet I lost last year where I had to eat entire tomato like an apple on the air. That was
I like that. Dude, I'm kind of worried, man. I need 1,000 yards out of Brandon Cooks, or I got to eat this on the air, right?
That's right, dude. You should have picked something a little more reasonable. I mean, like Cooks, Cooks and Mike Evans, they get their 1,000 yards one way or another. But I don't know. Dak Prescott, Corey Parsons has been railing on Dak Prescott all offseason, and I kind of see what he's talking about. It's not been pretty.
We know what we've been, hearing about Dak for a couple of seasons now. He's just, pre-ankle injury, Dak was solid. Loved it, didn't mind running, could take off, it was like, had that upside, that rushing touchdown upside.
6 touchdowns, both his first 2 years, right? Rushing touchdowns.
Now he's cock-a-poo-poo.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Hal, there's no theme today. Next week, we're going to have a theme. Next week, we're going to start.
Next week, it's all trades.
This week, just serve it up, baby. Whatever you want. Me and Coop, this is what we're doing. For an hour, we belong to you. So there it is.
Especially, we got Twitch gang in the house. Get the Twitch glasses out, baby. Cheers. What up, dog?
Should I trade my soul for a Raiders win this week? Tommy, I don't really know the value of your soul, to be perfectly honest. And I steal souls all the time. Secretly, I'm a ginger. Not really.
Howard, we missed this one.
Which one?
Got offered.
Oh,
don't want to miss anybody. That was a Twitch question.
Got offered ETN for Tua in Superflex leagues. I already have Hurts, Cousins, and Richardson. Then you don't need to do anything.
No, yeah, stick with what you got, dude. Hurts, Cousins, and Richardson are awesome. You should be trading a quarterback away, if anything, but just keep what you have.
Yeah, just stay put there.
Oh, he has all 4. He has Tua as well.
Oh, got offered ETN for Tua. Oh. I think you could actually, especially in a super flex, I think you can get a better running back than ETN for Tua. I think you got to aim higher.
Honestly, you should just go for the top running backs across the board, like first round picks, and just say take whatever quarterback you want. Right. And say like Jalen Hurts for Christian McCaffrey, or like, you know what I mean? And just because if you have that many good wide running quarterbacks, you can lose the trade a little bit to get just like a super high end guy, right?
Yeah.
Tony Pollard, go get Tony Pollard for Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah, my issue with ETN is, I like him. I think he's a very talented guy, but I think he's more of like a between the 20s type guy. Or if they've got the ball in the red zone, but once they get into the green zone, we know what they like to do, and it's very rare that it's ETN. Tank Bigsby, I think, what is it? I hit at plus 260 on an anytime touchdown for Bigsby last week, and that was just so. I'm just not a huge ETN guy. I think you can do better for Tua, 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
All right, Jedi Avenger now wants to know 12-team PPR, quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, a flex. Trade Daniel Jones, DeAndre Swift, and Tyler Lockett for Josh Allen and Gabe Davis. Swift is my 3rd running back, and Lockett is my 4th wide receiver. I don't like Gabe Davis. I don't mind this deal if it's a better wide receiver.
Yeah.
But
it is a 2 wide receiver league.
Jones and Swift straight up to Jones and Swift for Josh Allen, or Jones and Lockett for Josh Allen. That I don't hate.
Yeah. It's a 2 wide receiver league where you're only starting I mean, I think
at most you're getting 3 wide receivers into your lineup each week.
Yeah. Yeah. See if you can get somebody better than Gabe Davis, but I would still consider doing it.
All right. Jared Moore asks, where are you on Jaylen Warren? I got an offer for him in Dynasty for a 3rd and a 4th. I'm not necessarily opposed to selling high, but obviously that offer ain't it. Sell or hold Jaylen Warren.
The problem with Najee Harris is that they do like him, right? And they can pick up so he's under contract for next year, and they can pick up his 5th-year option the following year. And Jaylen Warren is the same age as Najee Harris. So I think this split we're seeing now, unfortunately, it ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere next year unless somebody gets traded. So, I mean, it depends how you feel about. If you love Najee Harris the way he is right now and Jaylen Warren the way they are right now, then you want to have Jaylen Warren. Otherwise, maybe swap them out. I think a 3rd and a 4th isn't enough, though, because those guys don't. If you can trade Jaylen Warren for a late 2nd, then I would do that. But otherwise, I'd probably just hang tight. What do you think, Howard? 3rd and 4th picks, man. The hit rate on those,
3rd and 4th picks in Dynasty are
pretty bad. Yeah,
that's like it's like acquiring a 2nd rounder in the NBA.
In one of my leagues this year, put it in perspective. In one of my leagues this year, I waived my 3rd round pick. I was trying to trade it. Nobody wanted it. And I didn't want to drop somebody from my bench. I literally just said, I'm not picking. I'm waiving the right to this 3rd round pick. That's how I feel about 3rd round picks.
Yeah. I'm with you. Robert Flores says, sorry, Howard, you guys are the best kept secret. Can't share all the. Come on. Bobby Flores, come on. Help us out a little bit.
Hey, Bobo.
I'm withering away to nothing because I can't afford food right now. So just tell everybody to smash the like and subscribe buttons.
Tell them to watch and then keep the membership and the stuff behind the page. Keep that to yourself, or share that too, actually. Share that too. That's the most important to share that, actually.
I am not screaming infidelities at Kyle Pitts. I'm screaming obscenities at Kyle Pitts, scampers. Let's see. What do we got? What's up, frickin' Frack? What's up, Franco?
Hey, how you doing?
Hal says 12-team PPR, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. My RBs are Najee, Miles Sanders, Achani, Pirine, Dowdle, Roshan Johnson, Keaton Mitchell. I feel like I should be trying to trade up wide receivers, Chase Olave, Ridley, DJ Moore, upgrade wide receiver 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you can trade DJ Moore, I have no faith in DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore, the player, in a vacuum, but you don't play football in a vacuum. And unfortunately, Justin Fields is in the same vacuum that he's in, just kind of sucking, right? So if you can, I like Chase, Olave, Ridley. Love that setup. I would, you know what I mean? Like, you're never going to start DJ Moore over those guys. So I would see what you can do to make a move, but otherwise just have DJ Moore on the bench and just know you can throw him in a lineup whenever you have to, but you've got your wide. You only start 2 wide receivers. You don't
Yeah,
even
so
need.
like right off the bat, you got Chase Olave Ridley that takes up your flex. I mean, I'm
Never
trading.
gonna start.
If I'm trading DJ Moore, I'm packaging him up with like Najee for a top running back.
Try to get a new running back. Yeah. Miles
Yeah,
Sanders getting the
I would
targets for too
improve
long.
on P. Ryan and Dowdle and Roshan and Mitchell. Like,
Yeah, don't worry about wide receiver. Yeah, you're good.
yeah, you're good at wide out. Dustin, what's up, Dustin? Lucky. I take Lockett and Palmer. Burrow is banged up. Okay, good.
That's
good,
what we
good.
decided
Thanks,
on.
man.
Yep.
Thank you for
weighing in
on that and siding with me.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh, Swift's running prop at 33.5 last week. Yeah, well, it's because it's usually DeAndre Swift, and we didn't realize just how amazing this Eagles offensive line was. I mean, you could drive a boat through those holes that they were opening up, huh?
Yeah, ridiculous. And the RPO leading into that is unstoppable.
Oh, it's unstoppable. Tommy says Palmer's 53.5 receiving yards prop. Higgins line not out yet. So we'll just kind of wait and see. And of course, it'll come in at 53.5 also.
That half helps us.
Just to shove it up your butt.
Of course.
It's Achan now. He asked to have it changed after this week. Why can't we just change it to Bill Thompson?
So Dustin we'd still mess it up. People would still be calling Willie Thompson. But Dustin of Dynasty Pros, he does pay close attention to that. He was the one that sent me like the updated guide and everything. So I actually trust his interpretation. I really do. Dustin he's on the forefront of player pronunciations, believe it or not. So is it Dustin, is it A-Chan or Ah-Chan? That's what we need to know.
Well, because you look at it and Scampers has it as A-Chan and Dustin has it as Ah-Chan, and now we need to know. Now we need to know, people. Please tell us. Nicholas Hartley chiming in. My team is half point PPR. My team is Mahomes, Pollard, Kyron Williams, Pacheco, Madison, Ford, Hunt, Keenan, T, Judy, Godwin. Would you trade Madison and Ford for Amari? I mean, I would trade Madison and Ford if you really wanted to, but I mean,
we had this question. Well, yeah, the thing with that one, Nicholas, is that I think you having the running back depth, especially considering outside of Pollard, nobody is like fully, truly, definitively locked in, right? Like we believe in Kyron Williams, but who knows? I think I'd rather just have a bunch of options at running back than, I mean, your wide receivers are already good. Keenan Allen, Judy, T. Higgins, Godwin. We like Amari better than everyone but Keenan, but I don't know if we need to do it. I think I'd just rather have the depth.
Yeah, I think I would rather have the depth as well. I mean, just look at this running back economy right now. It is brutal. Everybody who's like sitting there who went wide receiver heavy is constantly asking questions about what running back to pick up, So I mean, if you're going to trade two of them like Madison and Ford, I mean, I want high end. I mean, I love Amari, but I think that you're underselling there a little bit. Howard, be happy you didn't make that Tannehill Goff bet with me. Whatever. They both suck balls.
Right.
Mizar says I have Kincaid and Ertz. Drop one for Musgrave. I don't think so.
Oof, no, I think you got to ride with it, Mizar. Because I still believe in Kincaid. I have Musgrave one spot ahead based on the process, but I still personally in my leagues I'm holding Kincaid. And Ertz has the target share. Ertz is trending down a little bit, but let's wait and see one game with Musgrave with Christian Watson.
Josh Gillum's in here throwing down some NBA news. Damian Lillard traded to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Is that real?
I'm sure it is. Why would Josh make that up?
That'd be hilarious.
Why would I'm just going to go into some random fantasy football chat and I'm going to start talking about a fake NBA trade?
No, yeah, it's real. It's real.
All right. So there you go. Yeah, Woj reported it. I mean, listen, that's great for Milwaukee. It's great for Lillard, you just get him out of Portland where he's just being, buried and unhappy. So I'm fine with that. The Kincaid convo, we got that already. All right. Tingley wants to know, is Gibbs someone to try and trade for, or should I go for someone else? PPR in the running back room right now is Pacheco, Kamara, Ford, Achan, and Roshan.
Why am I more confused than I was before?
I'm so much more confused than I was before, but that's all right.
Life was more simple.
I feel like Gibbs is somebody, yes, I feel like you can buy low on him, but you have to buy low.
Right.
Like you can't sit there and, because I see people making offers for Gibbs and it's like, why am I going to trade? Like I think I saw like an Amari Cooper for Jahmyr Gibbs trade. I'm like, well, why would you do that when you don't really know what's going on with Gibbs? He got some good volume in this last game, but didn't we get Gibbs because he was going to be a PPR monster?
Bingo. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, Tingley, you're talking to two people who weren't drafting Gibbs at ADP, and he hasn't really even proved he's worth that ADP. So any trade to get him at where he was being drafted, we would never want to do. So you have to go look around at people that you think are like 4th or 5th round type value players. That's who we would do.
Yeah. Agreed. Mr. Rojas, trade question here. He's got Gino, Bijan, Stevenson, Connor, Algier, Elijah Mitchell, Spears, Higgins, Garrett, Kirk, Dobbs. He's got a lot of guys here. No luck in waivers for replacing Mike Williams. Stay or hold. Well, is there a trade on the table here, Mr. Rojas? Because if there's not a trade on the table right now, then I have no idea where you want to go.
Hold for sure, man. Don't worry about Mike Williams. Like you have Jacoby Myers Cooper is a great start. Jacoby Myers is a great start this week. You've got, and then with Higgins, Garrett, you can piece it together, man. I wouldn't worry about it, man. Your team was pretty loaded.
Dobbs, yeah. I mean, I think you're fine right now. I wouldn't sweat this. Do I trade Garrett Wilson and Christian Kirk for Christian Watson? Hell no. I wouldn't do that in a million years. Would you?
No. Why would you do that? Garrett Wilson might be flat out better than Christian Watson. You're just giving away Christian Watson.
Change your screen name to Nightmare, dude. Come on, what a horrible idea that trade would be. Hey, Coop, could you tell me the best way to come in last place in my fantasy league?
Why don't you just trade your good players for a player with a injured hamstring that hasn't played yet?
Tommy's got dad jokes. I played fantasy football in a vacuum. I played football in a vacuum one time. It sucked.
That is a dad joke. That's a knee slapper there.
Herms now says that it's pronounced Ashane.
No, it's not, dude. Folks, remember, he will read anything you put in the chat. Stop confusing Howard with
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Stop confusing Howard with additional pronunciations of.
Come on. Get me somebody on the phone here from Miami. Somebody's got to help clear this up for us. Otherwise, we're going to be a disaster.
We need official. Dustin saying A-Chan, I don't even think I've ever said. Yeah.
Well, then, Dustin, why don't you learn to put the symbol across the top so we know, huh?
Get some Latin in there.
Seriously, dude. Or phonetics, either way, right? Right? Like if you're Phoenician, then you speak in phonetics. El Lechero wants to know full PPR, 2 flex, 10-man league. He's got Gino and Fields. Sorry. Barkley, K9, Connor, Ford, Gus, and I'm assuming that's Khalil Herbert.
Yep.
Olave, Godwin, Lockett, Ridley, Woods, blah, 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 blah. Kelsey and Ertz. What would you guys do moving forward? I'd win my league.
That's El Lechero, what does that mean? Like the milkman or something? I think it does in Spanish. Something like that.
It might.
I tell you, it stinks because you did everything right? Like we believed in Gino and Fields, and the rest of your team is good. Like you hit on K9, you hit on Connor, you hit on Calvin Ridley, right? You hit on Olave, Lockett. You have Kelsey. Ertz has even been good. Like you hit on all these spots, and the one spot you didn't think you had to worry about was Gino and Fields, and it's been gross. So I don't know. I think you just ride with what you got, man. But Is that a 2 QB league?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Doesn't
then
say
yeah.
Superflex.
Oh, then you're fine, dude. Yeah, team's good.
I think
You're
you're
good.
okay. And I mean, listen, you know what? If you wanted to shop fields for a lesser QB and give one of your wide receivers to get somebody bigger, somebody excited, exciting to do, then do that. Then I would make that happen. So, all right, well, look at that, man, rifling through. We'll talk about the Jets and the nightmare that they are in a hot second here, my friend. But I do want to remind everybody that Underdog Fantasy offers new contests and chances to win every day. Play their pick'em contest by choosing anywhere from 2 to 5 players, all right, and by going either higher or lower on their stats. The more players you pick, the more you can win. You can do this for MLB, NFL, PGA, every sport. All right, Underdog Fantasy also offers daily drafts with leagues ranging from 2 to 12 players. And now there's even a brand new way to play Underdog Fantasy. Make picks during the game with the in-game pick'em. All right, all you need to do is sign up at fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Use the promo code ALARM. First-time depositors get 100% match up to $100. Again, that's fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Promo code ALARM. All right, their Thursday night football special is Jared Goff over half a total yard. There's your gimme.
Freebie.
George Pickens is their 100K Sunday pick. And this was an interesting one, Coop, because early this morning when I was, working on the show sheet, George Pickens was at 58.5 receiving yards. Then I went to go put in my little, 4-pick play, which is tight, baby. It was like, oh, it won't accept it. The lines moved. It won't accept it. The lines moved. And I looked back and I was like, oh, the freaking line moved on George Pickens. Right now it's 61.5.
60-yard game incoming, Howard. 60-yard game incoming. They know, dude. They're on you, bro.
So bad.
Yeah. But hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. So
what did I have? Wait a second. What did I have as far as Pickens went? What was I looking at? I think I was looking at he's going up against Houston, right? Yeah. Yes. All right. Yeah. So if I'm looking at Houston and I'm looking, let's just go to some DVOA for a hot second. Here you go. They rank 11th against the wide receiver 1, which is what Pickens is right now. All right. Giving up an average of 67 yards per game. So that's not terrible. It's close still. 61.5. I feel like you're going lower on this, aren't you, Coop?
Nah, you know what? I actually, in this matchup, I think I would go with Pickens with no Deontay Johnson. So I do like the higher on that.
All right, beautiful. I like the higher on that as well. So to put with your George Pickens pick or your Jared Goff pick, whichever, you can't do both Jared Goff and George Pickens in there. Can't double boost it, but pick one of those, whichever one you like. I think the Goff one is obviously easier, but the Pickens one gets you into their $100,000 contest each week.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing 2. I'm doing 1 with Jared Goff. And if you do 1 with Goff and then just 1 player on the Packers, then you can do a little Thursday night special. And you get your answer on Thursday. You don't have to wait. On the weekend one, I'm doing George Pickens, and I'm throwing guys in there from the weekend games, and that's going to be my weekend play. So I'm doing 2. I'm doing a little Thursday night special. Quay Walker was the play that I liked. Tackles higher than 8. What was yours from that game? I think we both did a couple from that game, right?
From the Thursday night game?
Yeah. We had
what did I do?
Oh, you had the chalk. You had the chalk one. You had Musgrave. Oh,
yeah. His receiving yards were like super soft.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing for 35.5, easy one. So that's what we're doing for Thursday. For this weekend, I'm doing George Pickens, and I like Joe Mixon, and I'm going with the lower on the 51.5. And you can trust me on this because Joe Mixon is a player I like in fantasy football, but I'm willing to admit that he isn't super efficient. He's also kind of injury prone, and anytime you're going with a lower, you get 2 outs. You get the production or the injury. And when you look at this Titans defense, stingy against the run. Crazy stingy. Jerome Ford, caught a touchdown pass, but he was not good running against this team. And this Bengals team is kind of reeling right now. So I don't see a world. I mean, it's possible, but is Joe Mixon really going to come out with this line and be the one team that can run against the Titans? I'd rather bet against that. So give me the lower on Mixon.
All right, I like that. You can go to mine also here if you like. Listen, it's Denver against Chicago. I'm going Cortland Sutton. You know he's my boy. He's on the cover of the DFS watch list. We know that the Bears' defense is horrible. Chicago ranks 24th in DVOA against the opposing wide receiver one, allowing an average of nearly 80 yards per game to them. Cortland Sutton, he leads the team in targets. I've said this over and over again. The X receiver in a Joe Lombardi offense gets fed the targets. Doesn't matter that they got their asses whooped 70-20 last week. Put that behind you. Cortland Sutton, 53.5 receiving yards, higher for me.
Love it, dude. And if you put that in there, so you get basically the big one, and then you put one more in, right? You got to put 4 in, right? And then if you just but if you put 4 in, then you get entered into. Yeah. So that'll 10x whatever you put on it if you just hit it, and then you get into the entry to win 100K. So
all right. You want to know my four? My four?
Yeah.
You want to know mine?
Yeah, I do.
So I did the higher with Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
I did the higher with Sutton. I did Bijan Robinson higher than 26.5 receiving yards.
Could be one play.
And Travis Kelce to score a touchdown against the Jets,
who
ranked 30th in DVOA against the tight end.
The old Swifty special.
100%. So there you go, folks. Check it out. Seriously, Underdog Fantasy is where you want to be playing. Go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Use that promo code ALARM for a 100% match deposit up to $100. Put your money in. I took mine down last week. I did a 3-pick one last week. Ended up making $120. Now I've got a 4-person 4-pick thing in there. So
boom, shakalaka.
A couple of bills, baby. Looking for a couple of bills.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get that money.
All right, let's get back to the chat here. See if we got something new and exciting. Because Tommy, I don't want to talk about the Jets.
We're dodging it.
We are. Robert Flores, are you going to be on with Lisa Ann later tonight and go over picks and spreads for the week? Indeed, we are.
Nice.
You can also catch the Better Sports Betting Show with me and Dan Servadidio today, 4 p.m. Eastern, as we also will be going over some lines and totals for the NFL today. So lots of talking here on the air for me. And we'll get you guys going, no problem. Lewis Brewster, what's up, Drew? Oh, does some people call you Drew?
Like my dad when I was 8.
All right, there you go. All right, I
and
like
Lou,
that.
there are 2 people that have permission to call me Drew, my dad and Lou Brewster.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
Yeah, those are the 2. So those are the 2. So there you go, dude. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try and work my way into that. And
maybe, dude. Maybe.
Nikki Cunningham needs a quick tip here. Dynasty trade. I'm trading Najee and Jerome Ford for Jahmyr Gibbs. That a good deal for me, or should I cancel? I think that's a great deal for her in Dynasty.
I do that, man, because the thing about Najee in Dynasty is that he quietly was a fairly old prospect, right?
Mm-hmm.
He came into the league at like 24. So if they pick up his 5th-year option, Howard, this is not even franchising. If they pick up his 5th-year option, he will be like 27 years old when he gets his 2nd contract and finally escapes this Pittsburgh team. So he might not even be fantasy relevant by the time he gets away from this team.
El Lechero says no 2 QB to that last question. We got that. Zach Moss or Rachaad White for the long run?
It's got to be White, man.
Gotta be.
Unless we get some definitive info that Jonathan Taylor is never going to play for the Colts again, it has to be the guy because Zach Moss could get obliterated.
He could. I mean, what's your thoughts here? Like, so I get it. The relationship with Taylor and the Colts is horrible.
Right.
Horrible. And it's so funny too, because I talk to Jim Bowden about this all the time, because I'm looking for like that
He's a
GM
GM.
perspective of that whole thing. He doesn't think like he's like he would be very, very surprised, he said, I believe, if Jonathan Taylor plays for the Colts. But meanwhile, if I'm Jonathan Taylor, I need to increase my trade value. I need to make people want to be with me. So why wouldn't I just get on the field now, keep demanding that trade, and just be like, here, watch me. Let me increase the trade value. If we can't come to agreement here and whatever, then fine. Let me run and increase my trade value, because obviously other people are upset about this.
Right. And Jonathan Taylor could do the thing that you do when you're in that situation, is you play and then you have a good play and you point over the sideline and you say, hey, Moss, come on. And you just kind of take yourself out, how are they going to stop you? If you just say, hey, sub me out, I just made a good play. My agent can kind of showcase this, hey, I still got it. And, kind of go to work, do it, treat it like a job instead of treating it like a passion. Just kind of do the minimum you need to do to get a trade. So I can see it, but I don't know. The real curveball is that the Colts are 2-1 and in first place in the division, technically, right? I mean, it's like it'd be a lot easier to say, okay, whatever, trade him away if you were 0-3, but Colts have actually been pretty decent.
All right, I mean, pump the brakes a little bit.
But I said pretty decent. I didn't say they've been good.
Burntwood's Blaze says, should I trade Pickens for Aaron Jones?
Burntwood Blaze and the Twitch gang. We love our Twitch crew. And yes, I would. I would trade Kenny Pickens for Aaron. I'm not a Pickens guy, George Pickens. I'm not a Pickens guy. That's why the fact that I'm going higher on his underdog line, you should be in on that, because guys like John Dotson, George Pickens, it's very cool when they make the contested catches in practice when it's a one-on-one drill and the drill is contested catch practice. But these guys need to get separation to get consistent targets. And when Deontay Johnson comes back, a guy that's gotten 140 targets 3 years in a row, it's going to be real hard to get the consistent targets. Not to mention, it's nice being the contested catch guy when you don't have Pat Freiermuth, who is like a red zone savant himself. So it's just a little too thin to have a bad quarterback.
And I'll assume that Aaron Jones eventually will be fine with the hamstring issue. Yeah. And having the starting running back for the Packers, that's a good spot to be.
He was awesome that first game, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially when LaFleur's system. It's definitely it's a move there. Scott Frankel, I've already adopted Cortland Sutton. He belongs to me.
Dude, I don't understand the Cortland Sutton rankings across the industry. Like, I put my rankings in they're up on the website for this week, and I kind of look around just to see what other people are doing. Dude, no one has respect for this guy. He caught touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. He should have had another touchdown this week. Was wide open. Terrible throw by Russell Wilson. It's like, what? I understand the team is what it is, but I just don't get what's not to like.
Because people sit there and they look at what Cortland Sutton has done in the past or not done in the past, and they don't understand the scheme change. Basically, it's what it comes down to. They don't understand the scheme change, and that's a problem. That's why we do the work that we do at Fantasy Alarm. That's why we put so much effort into identifying what all of these defensive schemes are, what all of these offensive systems are, and who the players are who thrive the most. So when the rest of the industry catches up and they're like, yeah, Cortland Sutton, at least you guys know I've been riding with Fantasy Alarm, all season, and they had him from the word go. I mean, That was just it.
Wow.
So, all right, let's see. Tingley wants to, do we have player rankings rest of season? So, no. And I'll tell you exactly, you don't want player rankings rest of season. You want Coop's weekly rankings. That's what you want. You want Coop's every Tuesday night. Go to fantasyalarm.com. Coop's got his new rankings for the week posted every single week. That's what you want to do, because the NFL is it's a matchup based game, like fantasy football. It's a matchup based game, and so much can happen. So many injuries can occur that I could rank a guy second overall for rest of season. And what happens? The dude gets hurt in 2 weeks, and then where are you at? Like,
Right.
all of a sudden you've like overinvested in a player and he ends up getting hurt. You don't want to look rest of season. At most, in all honesty, at most you want to be looking 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time. That's it.
Bingo. You hit the nail on the head, Howard. And the one exception I do make, Tingley, is I recognize that at tight end is a tough one because sometimes you got to balance the weekly and whatever. So that's the one position that I'll put a guide to rest of season. But even within that guide, it specifically is set up to show you if you don't have an elite guy, to have 2 tight ends. One you can start right now with only looking at right now, and then one to maybe stash on the bench. Because it's a singular position, that's the one position that we will try and sometimes look farther out. But Howard's right. Like for wide receiver, when you're making your roster decisions at the wide receiver position, you need to focus on right now, right? Like can't have too many guys on your bench that you won't put in your lineup because you don't have space for that. Bye weeks are coming, baby. Bye weeks are coming. It's week 4 this week. Bye weeks start next week after that. So,
all right, we got about 1 minute to go here at the most. So, Coop, I'm going to rapid fire some questions to you. Rapid fire answers right back. No analysis needed here. Just make your decisions. Hunter Henry or Luke Musgrave this week?
Hunter Henry.
Offered Derrick Henry for Diggs, which I don't like, but need an RB. I have Brown, Olave, Higgins, Hopkins. Would you trade any for Henry as a counter offer?
You were offered Henry's kind of in a tough spot, but I would try and do Olave. Obviously start at the bottom. No one's going to do Hopkins. Try Higgins, then try Olave. If you have to do Diggs, then you have to do Diggs.
There you go. Would you take a Tutu Atwell and Ramondre Stevenson for Diggs?
No, keep Diggs.
What about Lockett and Stevenson for Diggs?
Oh, I'd much rather do Tutu and Stevenson for Diggs. If you have to do any of them, do Tutu and Stevenson.
Right, but you don't have to do any of them.
You get – so he's getting the Lockett and Stevenson side. I would trade Diggs for Lockett and Stevenson.
All right, there you go. Should I hold C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nobody wins the trade in Pemba. You know that. Don't ask those questions. 8-team league got offered Jamar Chase for Amari Cooper and Kenneth Walker. I would be left with C-Mac, Saquon, Zach Moss, Brian Robinson Jr., and Javonte Williams. Should I accept, I'd be getting Chase.
No.
So much for rapid fire, dude. You got 15 seconds.
Keep Amari and Kenneth Walker.
Keep Amari and Kenneth Walker. That's going to do it for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here, answering all your questions. Big thanks to our producer, Ernie Acosta. For Andrew Cooper, I'm Howard Bender. This has been Alarm Fantasy Football. We'll catch you next time.